Okay, everyone, welcome back. We're going to continue on here with module number one. You should have your base one iteration up here. It should look like what we have here, our red contour lines on top. The points as red X's nodes here on the bottom half, and our green polyline boundary all the way outside of it here. And we're going to be on page 11, starting on the second half here. So what we're going to do is we're going to create a new display option. So in tool space, make sure you click settings. You're going to open surface and then surface styles. And then we're going to copy one of these surface styles. So the one that you want to copy is the one that says 1 meter and 5 meter background. So even though we can't see them fully here, if you hover your cursor over top of it, it kind of shows you which one. So it's this one that I want to copy. I'm going to just select it and right click, and we're going to copy it. I'm going to go to the information tab here at the front. We're going to change the name of it. It's going to be contours. Now make sure that you have the background one selected here. This one, contours 1 meter and 5 meter background. Okay. So we're going to change some of the stuff here. So we're going to change the name to 0.5 and 2.5 background. So I'm going to just change that. 0.5. This one will be 2.5. I'm going to just remove the word copy here. We are going to copy this into the description as well, so we have an accurate description. Then we are going to go to the contours tab, open up contour intervals here, and we're going to change some of the intervals here. Okay, so it's going to be, we're going to change it. The minor interval will be 0.5. And the major will be 2.5, but it should change it automatically, right? And mine did. So minor interval is 0.5, major is 2.5. We're going to hit OK. And this will add that one. If you notice, we had a new one added here, contour 0.5. There's the new one that we just created here, okay? It should be on the list. So we're going to turn on all the layers using the lay on command. That'll turn on all the layers. There we go. And now we're going to freeze some of the layers here. So we're going to freeze OG North, OG South, and VTopo Spot. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to Open Layer Properties. We are going to, I'm just going to scroll to the bottom here because they're all visible here. We're going to freeze OG North. We're going to freeze OG South. You can see the little snowflake means it's frozen. And VTopo Spot, the one that we created. There we go, like that. And so that kind of, when we turn layers on and off, those will remain off at all times now. So there we go. Your drawing should look like this right now, okay? So we've removed some of the layers. We're going to go to Prospector. We're going to go to the EG surface. So we're going to open surface, EG here. We're going to right-click, and we're going to select surface properties. So I'm going to right-click here. We're going to open up surface properties. We're going to go to the information tab here. We're going to set the surface style to the one that we just created. So we just created this 0.5 and 2.5 meter surface style. And now we're going to hit OK. And you should see now in the drawing, give it a moment, all the contour lines have appeared in the drawing now here, right? And now we're going to save it as our second iteration here. So I'm going to go to the top. We're going to hit Save As. And we're just going to keep the file name the same, but I'm going to change it as 2. We're going to be doing a bunch of iterations in this video, so we're going to be clear which one we have. And it should say base 2 on the top here, and it does. Okay, so we're going to label the contour elevations now. Okay, so we're going to go back to settings. Now I'm going to close that one off here. Now we're going to open up, we're going to make sure that surface is expanded here, then label styles is expanded. Then we're going to open contours. And we have 2 here that says, this one says existing major labels and existing minor labels. And we're going to edit those, both of them, identically. So what you're going to do is you're going to click on major first. We're going to right click and edit this. We're going to change the text height to 2, a little bit smaller. Now we're going to change the contents. So on contents, you're going to click on here and then click on the ellipsis here on the right. And we're going to change some of the features here. So what we're going to do is I'm going to delete what's here. And we're going to just change the precision. Now, you can see the precision set to 2 decimal places. I'm going to change it to 1 decimal place. Once you do that, you right click, sorry, not right click, you click the right arrow here. And it shows the new, all the modifiers here. You should see P1. That's the precision that we change. This means that the precision is to 1 decimal place. Oh, there we go. We're going to click OK here and click OK here. And that we've now edited the existing major labels. We're going to do the exact same thing with existing minor labels right here, okay? So I'm going to right click, hit edit. We're going to do the exact same things, okay? So I'm going to change the text height to 2. Under contents, I'm going to click the ellipsis here. We're going to erase this currently. Change the precision to 1 decimal place. Hit the right arrow. Make sure it says P1 here. Hit OK and OK. So we've edited both of those ones, right? We've repeated with the existing minor label style. So now we're going to add multiple labels to our drawing here, okay? So then we need to go to the Annotate tab on the top here. Bottom half, we are going to, of the add label, we're going to click the bottom half here, Surface, Contour Multiple. That's the one that we're selecting here, okay? And now this is kind of a little bit subjective how we're going to do this, right? So I'm going to go back here. We're going to create some lines here that I'm going to put in. The way we do this, now this is all kind of subjective. You don't have to do it exactly the way I'm doing it. Just kind of, it's just to demonstrate some of the ability here of the Civil 3D. It's a 2-point function. So what we're going to do is I'm going to draw a line perpendicularly across a couple of the contour lines, like these 3 right here. So I'm going to select one point. I'm going to try and go perpendicular. I'm going to click there, and you can see it labeled it with some of the elevations there. Now I'm going to hit Escape. Get out of that. I'm going to scroll down a little bit. We're going to find another spot to do it. So I'm going to do it maybe across here, right? So I'm going to hit Enter to do the last command. Click, go across a couple of contour lines. Click. There we go. Hit Escape. Let's do it across this dense bunch right here. So what I'm going to do, hit Enter. Click. Click. Now those are a little tight, but just to demonstrate, you can do a whole bunch of those. Let's go down here and do some. So we've got a whole bunch we can do. I'm going to hit Enter. Let's go. Now we can turn OSNAP off. It might be a bit easier because it's like trying to click to a certain location. So I just turned OSNAP off there. I'm going to go across a bunch of contours here. Escape. Let's do a few more down here. Enter. Click. Click. This is just to show you, there's no right or wrong, like I said. We're just trying to label a few things here. Maybe here I'll do some. Let's zoom in here. How are we going to do this now? Let's do it like, I hit Enter. All right, just labeling the diagram. Let's move to the right. Maybe I'll go across here like this. Escape. Let's find some good spots to do. That's already done there. So I'm going to come up here. Maybe I'll go across here once. Enter. Remember, Enter is always the last command that you did in AutoCAD. So that's why I'm hitting Enter here. Escape. Maybe over here. That. This is a bit odd here, but I'll try and do it like this. Remember, just to use your own judgment for this. This is very subjective how we're doing this. We already labeled those ones there, so I'm not going to do those ones, but I'll probably do it over here. Let's cross 2 here. And let's cross right here. That looks okay. And there we have it. Okay. So now we've labeled a whole bunch of the contours with the elevations, right? You can see it was showing as we were doing it, but it's also put in those lines that we drew. Okay. So we want to, what we want to do is we want to remove those lines, those contour lines. So what we're going to, this is the next step of the process here. So we're going to make CTOPO text the current layer and turn off the other ones. So I'm going to go to layer properties. Let's make CTOPO text. Where is it? There we go. We're going to make this one, make it current. We're going to turn off all the other layers. So remember, once it's selected here, we're going to right click, select all but current. And then you're just going to click one of the other ones that turns off everything. Now, if we go back and look here, that's all the lines that we drew, right? I don't want those showing. Let me zoom back here, making sure they're all there. We are going to then click a box around all those lines. All right, we're going to get the properties, PR. We'll bring up the properties for what we've just selected there. We are going to then on the over here on the display, we're going to change this true to false. And it's going to turn all of those off. We're going to hit escape. Close this here. There we go. We are going to turn on all the layers again. We're going to, first of all, unselect here so it doesn't show anything. And then we're going to do lay on, turn on all the layers again. There we go. So what we did there is we just, all those, if I zoom in here, remember those contour lines? Now the elevation's there, but that line that we drew is no longer there. We just kind of removed that from the drawing. Oh, let's just bring that into play there. Okay. Now, by the way, a little instruction that's in here. Sometimes, you know, you'll want AutoCAD to redraw the drawing for you just to make sure that, give it a nudge and just make sure that it's drawn everything. So you can always type the regen command. You type regen, which is to regenerate. It just redraws everything just to make sure that everything's visible as it should be there. And I just did it there. And now we are going to save this as base 3 iteration. So I'm going to go to the top. I'm going to save as, and it will be base 3. Should say base 3 on the top when we got it, and it does. So that's good. Sure we have the right page here. Again, we're going to go to Prospector. On our surface, our EG surface, we're going to right-click and select Surface Properties. Okay. Under the Information tab, change the surface style to contours and triangles. Now, this is a little step that we've added in. You can see it's a lone pager. Make sure you do this one. We're going to save this little section here as a new iteration, and then we're going to go back to base 3. So make sure you do this one because we're going to use this one later on. So what you're going to do is we're going to change the surface style to contours and triangles. With this style, you can view the surface you created as a triangular. So it's as a TIN, a triangular irregular network. Okay, so we're going to see here once we look at it this way, watch what it looks like now. Hold on a second. Now, all of our nodes are a triangular irregular network here. Okay, now this is going to be a specific iteration, this right here. So you got to be careful what we do here. We're going to save this exact drawing as our 4th iteration. So go to Save As, just change it to base 4. It's base 4, it's saved as that way. But now we're going to go back to our base 3 drawing. So I'm going to just go back here, and base 3 is listed here. I'm just going to make sure I have the right one. Yep. We're going to go back to base 3 to open. Okay. I'm going to close. You can see both base 4 and base 3 are up here. I'm going to close base 4 just so I don't accidentally use it for anything. We're back to our base 3 diagram here. Okay. Okay. So we're going to create a new style to view that triangular irregular network, and it's going to be with elevations are going to be like bands of colors is what we're going to do here. So we're back to our base 3. Make sure you have that. Back in tool space, you're going to hit settings. Okay. Under surface and surface styles, you are going to go to contours and triangles, which is this one near the bottom of that. You're going to right click and you're going to select copy. It's going to bring up a window. Okay. We're going to go first to the information tab. And we're going to change this name to TIN banding. Capital T-I-N and then banding. And then we're going to just rename this as the description as TIN banding surface style. Make sure I did that right there. We're going to go to the triangles tab here. We're going to change some settings here. So we're going to do the triangle display mode, we're going to change to exaggerated elevation. And that exaggeration, the scale factor for that is going to be 10. So we're going to hit 10 here. We're going to go to the analysis tab. We're going to make sure we expand the elevations, and we're going to change some things here. The range color scheme, instead of blues, we're going to change that to rainbow. And the number of ranges is going to be 5. So we're going to change that to 5. Display type will be 3D faces. From 2D solid, we're going to change it to 3D faces. Change elevations display mode to exaggerate elevation. And the scale factor for that will be 10 down here. Right? So that's all the instructions that we did right here. Okay, that changes those. Keep it there though. Don't close anything yet. We're going to go to the display tab now. And here, now what we're going to do here, you can see now it's two things we're going to do here. It should say we're going to do it with view direction plan selected here. I'm going to turn off all these and just make sure that elevations, all the layers are turned off except for elevations. And then we're going to do it with model as well. So I'm going to go to model and make sure elevations is the only one. So, right, so under view direction model, elevations is the only layer we can see. And under plan, it should be the same thing, okay? I'm going to click OK. Now we're going to save this. This is going to remain as base 3 iteration. So I'm going to go here and make sure it saves. There we go, it's saved. I'm going to go back to Prospector here. On the EG surface, open up the EG surface here. Surface properties, we're going to right click on, on EG, the surface properties right there. And then we are going to change this to that tin band. We just created this new style, our tin banding. We're going to do that first. Now we're not going to hit OK yet. Go to the analysis tab. We're going to change the number of ranges to 5 right here. And then we are going to click Run Analysis, which is this little arrow right here, Run Analysis. Shows us kind of like the color scheme we're using here. Now, the colors are fine here, but we're going to change one. Eventually, you're going to plot this onto a PDF plot, and yellow doesn't turn up well on a PDF. So we're going to change the yellow to orange. So we're going to double-click yellow here. And we're going to change orange, which I believe is 30. There we go, right there. We're going to click Preview. It should show the proper colors here. Okay. We're going to click OK, and let's see what happens here. Whoa, there we go. So we can see all our elevations in these bands, these colored bands, right? Red is the lowest elevations, moving up through orange, green, blue, and purple is the highest elevations here, right? Now, we're going to save this iteration before we go any further. I'm going to save this as base 5 iteration. So we're going to go here, Save As. And we're going to call this base 5. There we go, base 5. Now, by the way, we can look at some other views of this, so which is the bottom here. So if we go to the View tab, we can look at this, choose like this one, Southwest Isometric here. If we go here, you can see now you get like an isometric view of our surface here, right? With the purple elevations on top, red on the bottom here. You can zoom in if you want to take a closer look. It's pretty elaborate, looks really good. If you want to go back, you just got to go back here and choose top. There's our top view, right? Our plan view, okay? Now, if you did everything like I just explained and you follow the instructions, your surface shouldn't be, it should be colored like this. You shouldn't be gray. If it is gray, this little section on page 21 will tell you how to fix that. Make sure you follow that. But if you followed everything up until this point, it should be fine. So we'll just move forward from here. Okay, so now we're going to revert back to our base 3 drawing. So let's just make sure, I'm just going to make sure I'm going to save where we are in base 5. There we go, it's saved. And then now I'm going to reopen base 3 drawing, okay? And we're going to add some stuff here. So I'm going to go back to here. I'm going to make sure my base 3 is the correct one. It is. I'm going to click that. It's going to be back to our base 3 drawing here. Now I'm going to close the base 5 just so it's not there anymore. Should just be base 3 showing. This should be the drawing that you have. Okay, so we're going to add some spot elevations here to the drawing. Okay, so I'm going to just zoom into a portion of the drawing here. Right there. I just want to be close to 3 of these like intersections here like this. Maybe I'll turn OSnap back on just so I can label my intersections properly there. Now we are going to add some labeling here. So you're going to go to the Annotate tab on the top here. You're going to click the top part of Add Labels. So we're going to click that and a little window will come up here. Okay, so the feature will be the surface on the top here. Label style will be spot elevations. We're going to be putting some spot elevations here. The spot elevation label style will be elevation only. And that is good enough then, right? So we're going to add some. So what I'm going to do, let me see where I'm going to do this here. Okay, we're going to hit add, and then we're going to select some points. So I'm going to zoom in. I turn the OSnap back on just to make sure that the intersection, I can snap to it. And I'm just going to click on some of these intersections. One here. So it gives us a little spot elevation there. I'll go to the one next to it. And I'll go to the one next to it here. So we're going to label 3 spot elevations there. Okay, we're going to close this. We're going to add just a few slopes to our surface. We're going to do the same thing again. I'm going to click the top left here. It's going to be surface again. It's going to be slope, and it's going to be percents that we want. So we want surface, slope, and percent. We're going to add some. So what we're going to do is near where you did those spot elevations, we're going to do, it's a 2-click process. So we're going to add. Now you can see you can choose 1 point or 2 point at the bottom. We're going to do 2 point. I'm just going to zoom in here. And then you're going to click across a few of the contour lines. So watch, I'm going to click here, go across here, and it's going to give us a little labeling of the increase in slope. Just go over here to where that second spot one we did was, and I'll just do another one here, there. And let's see if we can find somewhere over here near this one to do it. So we will go maybe like this. There we go, right? There we have it. Let's just escape out of that. We created through nodes, right? And now we're going to show you a little, this is the last little bit that we're going to do here. Now, I'm going to show you how to do a little quick profile at any location here. So what we're going to do is, let's zoom back, and you're just going to draw a line. So I'm just going to do a simple line. You're just going to draw it across your the whole surface. So I'm going to start on the left here, just draw a line and click it there, okay? Now I'm going to select the line, right click, and I'm going to do quick profile, okay? We're just going to use the defaults here, and then you're just going to click to the right of your drawing here, and it's going to draw, look at this now, right? It's drawing a profile of what that line likes. If we were standing on the ground looking across that line, the red line here is the profile of the elevations. On the left, you can see it goes up for a while, and then it steadies out, and it's pretty steady across here, right? And this is dynamic. So this is just to demonstrate some purposes here. If I click the this here, the line, and I remove the line here, you can see it's crossing different contours now down here. If I click it there, look at that now, you see? On the left, we go up a lot of contours. We're gaining a lot of elevation here, and then it settles down over here, and that's reflected here in the red line drawing here. You can play with this a little bit, right? You can just move these, see here, and that one looks like that. So that gives us a quick profile right there of that, right? And that's what that page 24 is doing. It's just a dynamic drawing of the profile in quick form that AutoCAD Civil 3D has automatically built in. So if I go back here and select it, last thing you're going to do is just delete that. We're going to close this. That was just to demonstrate some of the abilities here that AutoCAD has available. We're going to make sure we save it. It should be base 3. We're going to make sure that everything we have is saved. And there we have it. That takes us to the end of, now you should be at this point at the end of page 24. And that'll take us, it should be saved, by the way, as base 3. It is base 3 saved, and that'll take us to the end of this video. Thank you very much.